Welcome back to another edition of MF News. Chris, great to be back. And man, wasn't that a great training session we just came off of?
It was very informative.
Yes, it was. Let's get right to the headlines.
Okay.
All right. Well, it's official. The Southern Baptist Convention has elected its new president. Ronnie Floyd steps in the lead role and will emphasize the Great Commission. Ronnie Floyd said, and I quote, "I will champion pastors and I will champion the church to accomplish the Great Commission."
Well, Dean from the Christian Post, did you know there are 3 things every Christian teen needs? According to Greg Steyer, it all boils down to this. Every Christian teen needs a king, a cause, and a crew. Further, we read that they don't need just any king. They need the king who knows them best, King Jesus. Can't argue with that. But wait a minute. They jump right into the 10 Commandments. Right into circumcision gospel to our teens today. And then your story about the commission. I mean, for crying out loud, which gospel?
Chris, I'm getting word here. And we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Let me guess.
Yeah.
I mean, for crying out loud, this is ridiculous. We just covered, I wish people could hear what Paul has to say about these 2 gospels.
Galatians 2:7 and 8. I'll just read a couple. Okay, here we go. But on the contrary, having seen that I have been entrusted with the good news of the uncircumcision, as Peter with that of the circumcision. So there's Paul making a little difference between him and Peter. Here again, just another version. On the contrary, they recognized I had been entrusted with the task of preaching the gospel to the uncircumcised, just as Peter had been to the circumcised. How many pick up on that slight?
Yeah, there's a slight difference there, it sounded like.
Read
the concordant reads it like this: "But on the contrary, perceiving that I have been entrusted with the evangel of the uncircumcision, according as Peter of the circumcision. For he who operates in Peter for the apostleship of the circumcision operates in me also for the nations." So a couple versions use entrusted with the evangel of the uncircumcision, and then Peter of the circumcision. And then another one, what was the word they used?
2. NIV's got 2.
Does that make a big difference? Of and 2?
Yes, it could make a huge difference. Like me, I never would have thought, I never thought or cared. I
don't think
you
you
could read
hear
this
it.
any
I think
version and
sometimes,
hear a
yeah.
sermon, and I never, of, to, what's that
Right.
matter? Does it matter? I mean, what are you saying?
How would you explain how that would impact that statement?
Funny you ask. The difference, I'll just read it, between of and to could not be more profound. Of acquaints us with character, to with location. So here's the example. If I play the music of the Japanese, and you... and you play the music of the Mexicans. We are playing different music.
2 different musics. Right.
I'm of some, you're...
Right.
But if I play the music to the Japanese, and you play the music to the Mexicans, we may very well be
Playing the same music.
Same, because we're just playing, you're going to one and I'm
Right.
going to the other.
Oh.
The way that it seems to be talked about from sermons and all that is that it's like Peter was learning things, he's taking this message here. Okay, Paul, you'll take it over here to the nations. And that just seems to be that's just what we do.
Right.
But
they're distinctly different.
Right. I mean, Paul states don't know where, but he makes clear that what he learned from the resurrected Christ. That's what he said. What he writes about and learned, that's what he says, that's what he claims. It came from Christ. He didn't go check with the disciples and say, hey, what are you guys teaching? I'm on board now. I'll just take it out here to the nations. You just stick with the Israelites. What he did, in fact, Peter was like, he couldn't even really understand what all Paul was talking about.
Right.
But Peter knows he's got it and more.
Yeah.
And go.
Yeah.
And
go do this. Even says,
Peter's like, I don't fully understand what
Peter even says it's difficult to apprehend. It wasn't for Peter.
No, it's a different Peter's under this other thing.
He's under the other thing. Yeah.
It makes all the difference in the world when you find out where you fit.
Action.
Thanks again for sharing your time with us here at MF News, where we seek to bring you the headlines without bias or personal opinion.
Heaven forbid anybody ask a question. He who gets close to a good tree, he will find a nice shade for shelter, or a bathroom, whichever you need.
A man who can't uphold his beliefs is pathetic, dead or alive.
We probably should share some of these websites that you and I use as a resource, that kind of help us with some of the explanations and the things that we study.
Yeah, great idea.
Concordant publishingconcern.com, that's a really good one we go to a lot.
MartinZender.com, very nice site to visit.
Thathappyexpectation.blogspot.com.
I had one of those one time.
A blogspot? Nice.
Concordant.org.
I already did publishing. Concordant Publishing Concern. You're doing Study Shelf.
Oh yeah. StudyShelf.com.
That's a good one.
Tent Maker.
Oh, yes.
No, don't know if it's .com or .org, but Tent Maker's a good site.
SimpleTruth.com.
Great.
Perfect.
Consider the things we're saying. We will be sharing scriptures, and you'll be able to look up some of these things yourself. It's so worthwhile to do this. And some of you are going to have a real ear for this. Some of you are going to be really compelled to look at some of the things that we're talking about. Some may find themselves offended. And remember, that's not our intention to offend you. All I'm asking you to do is to back up a little bit and consider what we're saying, and consider the consequences of what we're saying. And personally, Dan and I, we think it's really good news. It's a real good news. Great news. Yeah. It doesn't get any better. No. So, again, wanting to share news with you, and it's about our mortality and how we ended up this way, and the expectations that are for one set of people and an expectation for another set of people. And this is all ordained and orchestrated by God.